In eliminating its gender clinic model, the British government plans to focus on counseling and therapy for children struggling with their gender. It also plans to severely limit puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones.
It's a seismic shift, really.
The fact that they have looked at the science, they were ahead of us in these procedures, and now they're taking the foot off the brake. I think that's huge.
The UK's new National Health Service guidance leans on findings from an independent medical review. It cites an explosion in gender identity cases from less than 300 10 years ago to more than 5,000 last year alone. Most are girls who identify as boys, like Chloe Cole here in the U.S.
I was only 12 years old when I told my parents that I was a boy. At 15, I went under the knife for a radical double mastectomy, the kind that breast cancer patients get.
At 16, Cole regretted her decision, and she's not alone, as the community of those who medicalized and are trying to switch back is growing. British researchers point out that most identity cases will naturally resolve themselves by adolescence. Perhaps most striking, the UK government is citing the lack of credible research on gender medicine.
Probably the most important thing is the UK is now recognizing that what in the US we're called gender-affirming care is not based on solid science.
This conclusion follows similar shifts in Finland and Sweden, and new groups of doctors and therapists in the U.S. that are questioning what's called gender-affirming care. In addition to Florida, other states like Arkansas and Texas are moving to ban or limit these medical treatments for children. Fighting this trend are professional organizations like the American Association of Pediatrics, as well as President Biden, who says states should not limit medical treatment.
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that, as a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
A new study shows 300,000 U.S. teenagers identify as trans, and the number of medical treatments has spiked. From 2016 to 2019, surgeries increased by almost 400%. That includes more than 1,000 mastectomies. Still, some experts believe the tide could be turning. As medical concerns grow,
and I wish I could go back and have a redo button.
And more young people find they're not happy with what they've done.
I finally realized what happened to me, and that I had made a huge mistake.
I do think that as the evidence mounts, as the other countries come forward with an opposite view, the American medical establishment is going to have to listen.
We're going to have a major slugfest in the American court system over the next couple of years.
Richards and others believe former patients and their families who regret their choices will fight back with massive class action lawsuits. One is already starting in the UK. Heather Sells, CBN News.